Over 50 years. Go with who you know. Go with
Been an easy start for the B-Mets and Fighting Phils. No score in the game. Justin Cohen with you here from First Energy Stadium. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the B-Mets. No runs, just 1 hit for the Fighting Phils. Brian Bergamy leads things off. He grounded into a double play, 5-3 in the first inning. The first pitch is called strike 0-1. The pitch. Fly ball, out of play, first base side. Crowd still filing in. Of course, a lot of people on their tickets were expecting a 7 o'clock start. This is the makeup game of a game postponed inside for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. June 25th in Binghamton. Pitch. Outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Biddle faced Binghamton twice in his career coming in and hasn't had much success. High and outside, ball 4. So Bergamy on board with the leadoff walk. Runner on first for Jace Boyd, who grounded out to end inning number 1. He grounded out right to the catcher, right in front of the plate.
first baseman Jace Boyd.
Pitch is high, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Talked about Biddle with his starts. He played in the famous rain game where it was him versus Noah Syndergaard last year. He was having trouble with the mound, asked for more Diamond Dry. They were playing in the rain. He was out after 2 innings in that game. Pitch high and away, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. And that'll prompt a visit from Logan Moore and from the Reading pitching coach. So he played in that game. It was a rainy night, but Noah Syndergaard was dominant in that game. That was one of his early games with the B-Mets last year. Out after 2 innings in that game was Biddle. Biddle struggled. He couldn't find the strike zone. He was having trouble with his footing. And he let up, I believe it was 6 runs in that game. And then in the last game, he only lasted 1 1/3 inning as well. That was June 24th in Binghamton. The last game he played, the Fighting Phils actually won that game. High for a ball, 3-0. It was a 12-8 game, a wild game. And he allowed 6 runs in that game before being pulled. The pitch. Outside, ball 4. So another Wendy's walk for kids as Boyd walks 2 consecutive walks to start out inning number 4 for Biddle. That'll prompt a little bit of stirring in the Reading bullpen as Daryl Siciliani, who struck out in the second looking, comes up to the plate. Runners at first and second, Bergamy at second, Boyd at first. Siciliani steps in. Biddle looks back to the runner at second. Here comes the pitch. Inside corner, called a strike on a curveball, 0-1. Those were mostly fastballs that he was throwing for balls, so maybe he has a little bit more control with the slower stuff today. 0-1. Taken down low and away on a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Looked like he had squared to bunt and then pulled it back. 1 ball, 1 strike. So 1-1 on Siciliani. Infield at double play. The pitch. Ground ball right past the pitcher and through the hole for a base hit. Coming around third is Bergamy. The throw is going to be right to home, and he slides in safely ahead of the throw. Moving up to second on the play is Boyd. Bergamy scores on an RBI single by Daryl Siciliani, and it's 1-0 Binghamton. Biddle almost got the glove on it, but he left a little bit too late. The ball then found its way between the infielders, who had to back out of the way to try to field the ball in case it went off of Biddle's glove. Then Altier, who has an arm but doesn't have an amazing arm, and Bergamy, who doesn't have amazing speed. That play was a little bit closer probably than it should have, but he slid in. Bergamy did his Lawley swings and misses for strike one. Bergamy slid in just ahead of the throw, even coming in on the hop. So there's nothing more could do on that one. 0-1 on Lawley. Lawley struck out in inning number 2. Here's the pitch to him. Swung on and missed for strike 2 on a 91 mile an hour fastball that was just a little bit outside. Jace Boyd at second, Daryl Siciliani at first, Dustin Lawley at the plate. Pitch fouled away, first base side, and look out, make sure everybody's all right over there. Top of the 4th inning, B-Mets with 1 run home already and only, nobody out here. Runners on first and second, and Lawley at the plate with an 0-2 count. Swung on and missed for strike 3, so Lawley down for the second time today swinging. Strikeout number 3 of the night, number 4 of the night for Biddle. And Juan Centeno comes back up to the plate. Centeno flew out to left to end inning number 2.
Pitcher Juan Centeno.
Runners at first and second, nobody out. One out now. First pitch, taken for a called strike, 0-1. The 0-1. Fly ball toward left. This one might fall in, but it stayed up. It hung up for a bit. Collier makes the catch, falls down as he's trying to stop himself. The runners can't advance. So another fly out to left. That one hung up there for a little bit. It was toward the left center part of the field, and Collier had to run a decent amount to make that play, but it just hung up there long enough for him to catch it. That brings back Wilfredo Tovar. He led off the last inning with a single, then was caught stealing after Matsuzaka couldn't bunt him over. Not holding the runner at first and second, 2 outs now. The pitch, outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Boyd at second, Siciliani at first. 1 run home already, and it hits him. 92 mile an hour fastball inside hits Tovar, and the bases are loaded now after the hit by pitch. I talked about activity in the Reading bullpen, and it was just some stirring. There's no official activity now, but now with 2 outs, Daisuke Matsuzaka comes back up to the plate. Matsuzaka struck out trying to bunt the runner over. The first pitch is outside, ball 1. Matsuzaka in that last inning in the third went to a 3-0 count, pulling the bunts back, but then struck out. High and way away, and not good enough to get the runner home as it bounced off the fencing behind home plate, and they are going to come out, the trainer, and take a look at Biddle. Something's up with him. Looks like he's limping a little bit. This may be an aggravation of his injury that kept him out for a month and a half. As soon as that pitch was thrown, it was way high over the catcher Moore, and Biddle limped on that play. It looked like something happened on the mound. think Biddle's going to throw a couple of warm-up pitches, make sure he's good to go. Biddle was on the temporary inactive list. No word on what the injury actually was, but there was some sort of injury as he came through the GCL Phillies and then Clearwater for a couple of games. He went 2-0 in Clearwater in rehab appearances, but we don't know if it was an actual injury or if it was a mental thing, what that was. Very well could have just been all in his head. But he came up limping after that pitch. He's thrown a couple of warm-up tosses. Looks to be good to go, but the trainer's still talking it over with the pitching coach and his manager. The pitching coach, Dave Lundquist, came out first, and then eventually Dusty Wathen finally came out. The athletic trainer, Jonathan May, though, giving his advice that no, Biddle will be fine. So it'll be a 2-0 count on Matsuzaka. Here's the pitch. Fouled away, and look out again. Nice hearty cut there by Matsuzaka. Daisuke from Tokyo, Japan. The pitch. Down low and tight. Almost in the dirt. 3 balls, 1 strike on the pitcher. Nowhere to put him. Bases loaded. Bases full of B-Mets. Boyd at third. Siciliani at second. And Tovar at first as it's taken for ball 4 to Matsuzaka. He walks. Everybody moves up 90 feet. The B-Mets score on the play as Boyd crosses home. And it is now 2-0 Binghamton. Back to the top of the order in Kyle Johnson. Johnson 2 for 2. He singled in the first, singled in the third, and then ended up stealing second base. Now the trainer back out to look at Biddle again, and Worthen out this time immediately. And they're going to call this an injury. Biddle is being removed from the game. They're calling it due to an injury. They might just be using it as an excuse to give the pitcher a little bit extra time to warm up. But that will be the end of the day for Jesse Biddle.
Go to geico.com and see how much you could save.
So that'll do it for Jesse Biddle. We'll take a quick break. B-Mets lead 2-0 and still threatening here with 2 outs in the top of the 4th.